Recording started.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see this, right?
No.
Now we can.
Okay, we can see it now.
Okay. So what I did is I created two parameters, which is start date and end date.
Mm-hmm.
And I set the from field to order date,
Mm-hmm.
and the data type is date. And I did the same thing for end date. And after I did that, what I did is here, when you create that, it would be Slido, but I wanted to see the calendar, so I changed it to typed in.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can see that. So I did that for both.
Mm-hmm.
Then after I did that, I created a calculator field,
Mm-hmm.
which is this one. Let me see where my calculator field is. Yeah. And I called it date range, and I put this formula in it. So order date greater than or equal to start date, and order date less than or equal to end date.
Correct.
So after I did that, I dragged it to the filter, and in there, I clicked on true.
Mm-hmm.
I have one question. How did you get that to be the date range calculated field to be a true false?
Oh, this was just when I dragged this. Let me take it out.
No, I mean the calculated field, the date range calculated field where you have that it's greater than or equal to the date. See, it's the fifth one down. Yeah, go down.
Yep, the data range.
Right there. How did you get that to be a true false?
Oh, let me see. Let me remember how I did.
Didn't that happen automatically because it's a calculated field? You got a condition that's either met or not met when you put that in there.
Exactly.
You put enter, so it's either true or false.
Okay.
Yeah, and I haven't done anything to get that selection.
Yeah, that's a great use of parameters, because I was struggling with how to use parameters, but now that I see you like using dates like that, now I understand it a lot better. So thank you.
So this is the one way of doing it. We can write if condition also, and in that case, it will not show true or false. It will show 0 or 1 the way we did it yesterday. So we can try a couple of ways doing the same thing.
Okay, you mean adding the if condition in here, right?
No, so this is again right. This is the AND logic which I have written here. We can write case or the if statement. They will also work.
Okay. So just tested it to see if I can. I forgot to put it back. So.
Yep. There we go. Yep. So it's done.
Yeah, just a simple one. But I was trying to add a few more things. Let's say that if I don't want filter within the date, and creating another parameter that is like on and off, and then based on the value of that parameter to do this selection. So I wasn't successful on that.
So you mean you were trying to create on and off type
Yes.
of?
Yeah, and I was having an issue. Actually, I found a tutorial on that, but I wasn't successful doing.
Okay, great.
So I don't know if you have time, maybe later on.
All right. So we'll just cover a few things which are left related to this, and then maybe we can go through that.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
That's it.
All right. So any question on this activity? Maybe any doubt if you have? It's straightforward. All right. I think we can go ahead. All right. So now what I'm going to show you. Sometime we get as a requirement that, let's say if I drag my same hierarchy which we created yesterday, this product hierarchy, I have product category, subcategory, and product names. But in here, sometimes maybe user wants to see if they select profit, they can see the details of profit only, or maybe if they want to see the sales, they can see the sales. So you remember yesterday we created one sort filter basically. So it has, depending on one parameter which we created, sort order, it had 3 different measures. So we can utilize the same thing here, though I know that name is not making sense because I have put in sort, but the same logic will work in this situation. I'll drag my sort order measure which I created, sort field. So yesterday I was using this sort field only for the sorting purpose, but today what I'm trying to do with the same field is, if I want to see the quantity by category, subcategory, I can see that. If you want to see the sales, I'll just select sales and I'll get the values against the same hierarchy. And if you want to see the profit, you can see the profit against same hierarchy. So you need not to drag and drop the fields again and again. Depending on this parameter, my fields or the measures is automatically switching from profit to sales and then quantity. Because in Tableau what happens, you have limited area in dashboard, though you can increase the height and width, but again for end users there are n number of things in the same page. So if you try to make it more customized so that number of objects can be accommodated in the same page, that's a, I would say, good practice. Now the next thing which I wanted to show here using maybe the same parameter, so I'll drag the same hierarchy and I'm going to take date in consideration this time, maybe ship date or order date. So I have order date in columns area. Now you can see that I have years by default, and I can, let's say I'll just take the same sort field maybe. Okay, let me just remove it, remove this sheet. I'll utilize the same sheet. I'll just add the order date in here in the column. So you can see whatever measure I have selected, I'm getting that detail by years. It will change automatically sales, quantity, and profit. But for users or for end users, it is not easy every time that if they go here and click on this plus sign is basically for, sorry, it was for product. I'm talking about the plus sign which comes automatically in date. So date hierarchy is the default hierarchy in Tableau. if you have date field with the data type of date, it will automatically, show the years here. Though you can, drill it down to quarter, month, week, and days, but this is a default hierarchy getting created in Tableau. So now as a user, if I go here and click on this plus sign, I'll get quarters. If I click further on this plus sign, I'll get months. And if I further click on this plus sign, I'll get days. So you can see this is my complete order. One is year, then quarter, then month, and then days. Sorry, these are, okay, this is the date, not week, fine. But as a user, sometimes this view is not very user friendly, I would say, or maybe I'm not comfortable, right? So in that case, user may want to see a parameter or maybe an option so that they can see the data maybe in yearly format. So if they select a value in parameter year over year, they'll get this view. If they select maybe quarter, they will get this view. And if maybe they select month on month, then they will get this view, right? I don't want to click on this plus sign or this negative sign here because sometimes it's not very user friendly. I want to drive the same activity using a parameter. So we need to drive that, or we need to develop that. How can we do it? Let's just create another parameter here. And I would say maybe data view. I'll take string list, and here I will show month on month. Okay, I'll start from year over year. Then maybe I can take month on month, or okay, let me take the quarter first of all. Quarter over quarter, and then I'll take last month on month over month. I've taken 3 values here. I'll click OK, and maybe I can add this parameter to my sheet. That goes like this. I will have year over year, quarter over quarter, and month over month view. So as usual, I have a parameter here, so I need to create one calculated field. So I'll add one calculated field, and I can give it a name, maybe view calculation. And I'm going to drive everything using this date only, because this is the date which is, defining my view, whether it is week over week or month over month. So I need to write conditions depending on the parameter which I have created. I'll say if data view is equal to year over year, then I want to see maybe year of my order date, else if the data view is equal to maybe quarter over quarter, then I need to find out the quarter of order date. How can we find out quarter out of an order date? You can go to this date functions. Then you have several functions here. Maybe you can utilize date trunk, that's here. So I will try to use it, and let's see how it goes. If not this, then I might use date name or date parameter. So that will come by practice, that which is the best function to use in such situations. So in SQL normally we use date part to get maybe date, month, or year out of a date value.
Wouldn't you also need to have the year in there too? Because if you just do the quarters, wouldn't it just be 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters?
So yeah, exactly. We need to maybe combine with year with each quarter, or okay. I can directly take year first of all here, and then we can take data view. So that depends how we want to show the view. So I'll take this and let me just write. I'll try this, but let's see how it works first of all. And here it will go my date. So that's order date. Next line, else if data view is equal to then for month over month I can go back again. Maybe I can take date name, it will give me the full name. So I would say date name, and here I would mention month and then my date, which is order date. And then I will end my function. It's giving me error and it says expected integer found date time. So expected integer found date time, result type if expression must match. Okay, so in here you will find if I'm using date name, it's giving me the month in text format. If I'm using this quarter, it's again giving me the quarters as in date rank. It's coming in the first date of the quarter. So maybe I don't need it because it's a date here. Let me go by date name only because I need basically the quarter format. Okay, still I find one discrepancy that date name is string, but my year which is coming in, that is a number. I can change this into string. Okay, so I think that was the only problem so far. My years, whenever we are calculating, that is an integer, or I would say the date format. The rest of the two evaluations were the string output. So now it's working fine, but I need to check that what value I'm getting out of this. So I would say apply so far, and I can take that date view calculation. Yeah, view calculation in here, and so far I'll just remove this what year I already had. So you can see like in date view right now it is month over month is selected and I'm getting all 12 months here, but yes, the same question, because now what happened, all of my years, let's say January from 2012, January from 2013 and 14, 15, all got clubbed into one January. Similarly, basically this is the sum of all years data. So I need to correct that, or I need to find out a way so that I can show the same data by years. Okay, let's check. I'll do that. Let's check that how my quarter goes. So for quarter it shows 1, 2, 3, 4. There is no text in it. How would I know that this 1, 2, 3, 4 is showing me the quarters? It could be something else as well because it's just a number. So I need to figure out a way so that I can show maybe Q1, Q2, Q3. Regarding year over year, I'm good with this. So I need to work with number 1 quarter and number 2 with month over month. So I still need to work with it. One way could be I can drag my order date here and I'll take only year format. I will not play with this plus sign. So by doing so, now I know that my 12 is here, then 13, then 14, then 15. If I go to quarters, now I know for my 2012, 13, 14, I am getting those 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean 4 quarters. Similarly for years, I have only 4 columns. That's the one way I can opt, or if not, if I'm not comfortable with this, because it's again a plus sign, I'll remove it and I'll go back to my calculation which I wrote, view calculation, and in there I'll make few more modifications. Modifications like wherever I'm getting quarter, because it was giving me 1, 2, 3, 4, what I would do, I'll add Q plus, and then maybe I can convert this into a string. So it's gonna show me at the place of 1, 2, 3, 4, it's gonna show me Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. That's one. Regarding month, right now I'm getting the full name of month. Maybe I don't need that because January takes a bigger space. I can get only first 3 characters of it. That will work, but I can take year with this also, so that I will have a combination of year and month. So I'll say OK, and this time if I go to OK, still I will get some problem. Regarding months, it's looking better because now those months got separated. For 2012, I'm getting a different row. For 2015, 13 onwards, I'm getting different row. In case of quarters, though it's showing Q1, Q2, Q3, but yes, my year is not there. So maybe I will have to change that also. Regarding month over month, let me just make a minor modification because it's taking too much of space. I'll add the same component of year with the quarter also.
Shouldn't that be right? Not left?
For year, exactly, it should be right because I need 15, 12 or 13. Thank you so much. So yes, it's gonna be right, and I will be adding the same thing. So Q1 2014 or Q2 3000. Okay, so we can add the same thing here with the year also. That doesn't look good. I can maybe.
I would take that first dash out. Yeah.
What about space? Should I keep it here or remove it? I think this looks good.
Yeah.
Not good, but yeah, still better than the other view. So in case of
you see, can I just ask you one question though? Because if you look at it, it has quarter 1, 12, quarter 1, 13, quarter 1. It's not in the right sort order. Is that is there a way you can fix that?
Okay, so for that, I believe if I just take my year here, that will solve all the problems. Maybe let's say years of, sorry, I would say order year, not simple years. Order years, and here I'm going to take my order date. I don't want it to be an hierarchy, so that it will, I mean, now if users will click on that plus sign, it won't. Okay, there's a problem. Okay, I need to convert this into discrete and then I can use it. No, still is a problem. I'll have to convert this into, right now it is in measure. I need to convert this into dimensions. Here we go. How it looks like now. It's yearly view. It's quarterly view. Maximize it. and it's monthly view.
Would you mind showing that again, Pratik?
Yeah.
The last part that you did.
So last part, I created another calculated field using my order date, and that is nothing but this order year. So when I created just year out of order date, so it was a number, and that is why by default it was in the measures area. And if I 2012, 13, 14, so Tableau treats them as a number, and that is why when I initially dragged that here, it was taking the sum of that because it was a continuous field. So what I did, first of all, I converted that into discrete, and then I dragged into dimensions portion.
So this, I think this took care of what we were trying to concatenate to, right? So we can.
So the concatenation we were doing in that view calculation field.
Yeah.
This is a calculated field wherein we were doing that. So you remember there was a problem of orders. I think Caroline asked that. I was getting January of 2012, sorry, Q1 12, then Q1 13, Q1 14, something like that. So
yeah, like if you.
Still out of order.
So it has solved that problem, the order of quarters.
Right, but the month is still out. If you look at the month view, it starts with April and then August.
Okay.
Is there a way that in that view calculated field that you can say order by order date and ascending order? Or you can't do that in a calculated field?
So let me just check order ascending. No, but this is an year format. I will have to take maybe order date, not the count. Count doesn't work here. Okay. For that, maybe I will have to create another field. How is that going to work? Maybe, let's say, I'll just create the month, and I would say month out of my order date, and I'll just use this field only for ordering purpose, I mean for sorting purpose. Convert to discrete, and then I'm going to set up that order once again. Let's see how it goes. It's here. I don't want to sum this up. Average, no. Distinct. Didn't solve my purpose. Okay, let me go to this view cal only, view calculation.
Can you put an order by on that calculation right there?
No, we cannot put the order by here, but we need to maybe find out some other way. How can we do that?
I thought you created a date sort field. Was that based upon the string format or integer for the particular month?
Date, day, I have not created any day calculation.
Okay, because I thought where you saw sort order, if you created a calculated field and you pulled this month and you only pulled the month by integer, not by the alphabetical type, and use that as a sorting field. Wouldn't that work? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 12 versus January, February, March.
Mm-hmm.
That's just thought.
Yeah. So what I have just done, I have, at the places of taking string, maybe Jan, Feb, March, if I say 1, 2, 3, like Jan 1, Feb 2, it's working. Right now they are in order. But the order of year, I think that got disturbed. I need to just remove that sorting thing. Now you can see the first column is for Jan 2012, Feb 2012, but it's in number, not in that format. Like we should get Jan, Feb, March in textual format.
A question. So here, if we have the header like the year 2012, 2013 as the main header, so why do we need the year again in the month? Can we just stop the month?
Yep, we can stop that. It is just the calculation which I have created. I have put it over there.
Oh, okay, got it.
So if you want. So this will look like this now, like 2012 Q1, Q2, Q3.
Yeah.
It was fine, but in case of month, it will show 1, 2, 3, 4 for 2012, for 2013, 14, and 15. So now everything is in order, but still if you want to show Jan, Feb, March here, what we can do is we can further write a condition, maybe here, wherever I'm showing month number like 1, 2, 3, I can type in a further, calculation, I would say, because this is what I have done so far. I've never used that date name. I can write if this is equal to, if my month is equal to 1, then maybe Jan, else if this is equal to 2, then Feb, else, let's say if I keep it like this and after this I would say end. Okay, so I have just converted only Jan and Feb. Okay, now the order got changed again. It's showing me in the end. Okay, that's fine. So I'll just keep it as month here, and I'm converting that month number into 1, 2, 3. So this is the view which I'm getting year over year, quarter over quarter, and month over month. I'm not getting that text, but that is doable. We can change it because I have already implemented in some of the dashboards. So I can show that is possible using the same thing. I mean, I will have to write the same if query. If month of order date is 1, then Jan. This way we will have to write the complete query. So this one consolidated view here, I mean, both the parameters are working. You can see in the complete cross table, you can change this data view, number 1. Number 2, you can see whether your quantity, sales and profit in the same cross table by application of these 2 parameters. With this, I would say we can just do some of the formatting here. So maybe I don't want to see this header. I'll hide that. And for rest of the things, rest of the objects, I'll go to format. I can do the font formatting here related to the shades, the color which I want. Maybe for headers, I'll choose maybe gray. Plain. I don't want to keep any color here. This is the band size. I'll remove it. For fonts, wherever I'm getting this gray, maybe I can take white. Okay, but I don't want in the panes area. I'll keep it black. Or for lines, if we need, we can keep something, see in the panes area, in the header also. We can just, beautify your worksheet or cross table. You might have noticed that the formatting of parameters got disturbed. So we can, maybe go to this format parameters, and for font I'll take black. It's correct again. So that formatting can also be done using the format option.
Can you add a title on there too that has like maybe your parameters in it?
So for that, what I did, I just removed the title. Go back to this title again, and if you want this parameter here, we can go to edit title, and in here, let me make it a combination. So right now, with the sheet 19, I would say, let's say maybe summary of, or I'll just, let's say keep it summary only. Now I would go to my edit title, and here I would say summary of, I can use and of sort orders. Where is the sort order thing? Okay, this is my first parameter, and I would say by, I'll take another parameter which is data view. So what it will say, summary of parameter, whatever value I select in sort order, it could be profit, sales, quantity, by data view, that is year over year, quarter over quarter, or month over month. Let's see it working or not. So it says, okay, that and is not required. So it says summary of profit by quarter over quarter. I can change this text in my parameter, so that same will basically whatever you keep in this values area, that will reflect here.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Now if I change it to sales, it's gonna say summary of sales by quarter over quarter, by year over year, or by month over month. Summary of quantity, so we can make the title dynamic based on my parameters. All right, so any question on this visualization, this process?
Question. question?
Yes, please tell me.
Okay. So if you want to put the source order and then the data view a part of the title, we can do that, right?
You mean filters?
Yeah, filters, part of like
okay. So
like
if
the header or title.
So if you go to, right now I'm using parameters over there, but if you go to this edit title, whatever values you are getting here, you can utilize all of them into, your title.
Okay.
So it can be data source, data update time, sheet name, page counts, full name, username, like who updated or who's we're seeing the report right now, and these things also.
Okay.
Any other question on it? Okay. Depending on the value what I have in this cell, I think we have not shown the cross table by using this option. In show me the third icon, so you can see here went here. I'll just make it the same change. So you can see the same cross table. It is just depending on the value in cell. I am giving it a better color. You can change the color. Right now it is blue scale. You can change it whatever color you want, maybe green if I choose, and then it will automatically adjust whatever value you are going to select. So it's all dynamic, number one, and number two, you are showing number of information into same cross table. Are we good so far?
Yep.
Right. All right. So I will move to my next topic. Let me see. Okay, dynamic hierarchy. We talked about dates. That's fine. So when we were covering the hierarchy, I mentioned that the relation between two or different dimensions is basically we call as hierarchy. So in here, I don't know how this order date got added in here, my product hierarchy, order years. Okay, we can remove it. I've just removed order years. Now this is the product hierarchy which I created. Let me create one more hierarchy. And what I would do now, I'll create my another hierarchy based on country, city. Okay, I would not go to country. Let's just take region, state, and city. I'll create hierarchy, and I will not add into the existing hierarchy. What I would do, I'll just create another hierarchy. I'll just keep it as it is. I would not change the name. I am going to maybe see all those hierarchies into one view that's here. Okay, I need to change the order because I know that region will come first, then state, and then city. So region, then state, and then city. It's of no use right now. I'll just drag it again. So you can see that one is this, so the first hierarchy which is working here. And further to that, I can expand my region hierarchy. So I can collapse and see the details of all these. That option is available with me. But let's say, right now I have just put two hierarchies with 3 levels. I have got 6 columns occupied. Now if I show maybe my 2 measures here, I'll take profit and sales. I'll take them in tabular form. Right. So one is a category hierarchy. Another is a region hierarchy, which has state and city. So now 6 dimensions and 2 measures. A lot of information here. Users will definitely get confused. So how can we avoid this? Maybe what I can do is, the way we created parameters here, so at a time whatever information they wanted to see, they can see that. I need to create a parameter which can help users to see these 2 measures either by product hierarchy or by region hierarchy. Right. So I can, depending on my parameter, I want to switch between 2 hierarchies. The good thing is, if I, let me just first of all create a parameter for dynamic hierarchies. I would name it whatever name you want to give, you can give. I'll keep it string, and as I mentioned that there are 2 hierarchies which I want to give options to the user. So I would say product hierarchy number 1, and number 2 I would give region hierarchy. You can keep any text, whatever you want. There is nothing related to the name or value what I give here and the name what I have in the dimensions area. I'll add it to my sheet. I have product and region, and I want to switch this view based on my parameters. So before I go ahead and do this, let me just first of all collapse these. I think I have not shown you that yet. Let me just remove these 2 hierarchies from here, and I will create a calculated field first of all, and I will name it my dimension. And here I would say if my parameter, which is dynamic hierarchy parameter, is equal to, let's say, product, this value needs to be, or the spelling of this needs to be same as what we have value for this product. Then I want to see maybe the product name. Else, in other case, if there is a region, I want to maybe see the state and end. So on this right now it is showing that we can switch between, the way we were switching between sales, profit and quantity in measures area, we can make the same kind of switch between 2 dimensions if we have a parameter. So I'm taking this, what I named my field. Okay, my dimension. So now you can see if it is product, I'm getting all my product names here. If it is region, I'm getting state using the same field. One field is switching the values based on my parameters. So we can make this change in both number 1 dimension and number 2 measures. But the challenge comes when if I try to drag an hierarchy here, because let's say this is a product hierarchy which we created earlier. I want to switch between hierarchies depending on my parameter, product or region. Tableau doesn't give you that flexibility. You cannot, get, okay, if I need to just remove this and find out the name of hierarchy, I don't get that here. I should get, the product hierarchy, I don't get it. You can try dragging it out here, but it won't work. You are getting only one field category, but I dragged product hierarchy, which means I cannot drag hierarchies in the calculated field. Actually, I want to make my hierarchies dynamic depending on this parameters. So can we think of any way or any idea through which we can, make my hierarchies dynamic? Anybody, any guesses? Or are you getting the problem statement what I'm referring to?
Could you create a hierarchy out of your dimension, out of your parameter, or your calculated field? I mean.
So I'm not able to drag this hierarchy into calculated. And I need, the way I have created this field here, you can see, if I select product, I'm getting products. If I select region, I want to get the region. Similarly, I want to do a hierarchy here. So if I select product, I should get maybe category, subcategory, and the product name. And if I do region, I want to get maybe country, state, and city. How do I do that?
So what about creating a parameter and then so we get the value from the product hierarchy?
Well, if you go back to your connection, you create a calculated field from your original connection for that particular sub-hierarchy and create the 3 different compute columns at that time, use them so they're not a part of a hierarchy at that time, so you reference them in your formula there.
Exactly. Yep. So that we can do. Great. So I'm going to do the same thing here. So the way we created this, my dimension field maybe. So what I would do, the condition there is that we need to have the same levels in both the hierarchies, right? Level means, like right now in this hierarchy, you can see there are 3 levels: category, subcategory, and product name. So I would need 3 different calculated fields, like number 1, let's say if I create parameters. So if my parameters have value of, let's say, product. So I want in my first level, I would say level 1, and I would say if it is product, then I want subcategory. Sorry, not subcategory, I want category in the level 1. Else, I want, if it is region, then I want country, or not the country, because in country I have only one value. I would like to see region and end this. So that's my level 1. I'll copy it. I would say okay. I'll create another. Maybe I can duplicate it directly. Rename level 2. I'll edit it. And I would say if it is product, then I want here subcategory. And in case of region, I want maybe state. And the third level would be if it is product, then I want maybe product name, and in case of region or the other condition, I want city. And then now I would add these 3 calculated fields into one hierarchy. Create hierarchy, whatever you name it, level 1, level 2. I'll use this hierarchy at the place of my rows. So now you can see if it is region, I'm getting regions, states, and the third level would be of city. If it is product, you can see it is category, subcategory, and product name. So depending on my parameters, I'm getting the complete hierarchy shifted or changed. So again, I'm showing the details of measures, profit and sales by my dynamic hierarchies, or I would say dimensions. Any questions on it? It's a complete, I would say, the concept of parameter and calculated field, nothing else.
I have a question. Can you go back to the dynamic parameter that you created and made change?
You mean these levels?
Not the levels, the parameter, the dynamic hierarchy parameter. I think I've seen you, yeah.
So it has only two values.
Okay.
Yeah. It's simple. I mean, it's all about these levels which I have created, because they are, changing the value depending on my parameters.
Oh.
You can add more levels of hierarchy also in that, maybe level 4 or level 5. So now there could be only one challenge now for users, because it's showing level 1, level 2, so that is not very, I would say, good details to show. So at the place of level 1, level 2, and name your header some generic names. Maybe for level 1 I can show here, if it is category, I would say like category or region. So I know in this field either I'll be getting category or I'll be getting region only. Similarly, for level 2 I can show states or subcategory, and for third one I can show product or city names. Can change these names depending on the requirement. Alright, next thing which I wanted to cover some of the custom charts which I have not covered so far. The very first day I talked about dual axis chart a little bit when we were doing different color schemes for different measures. So I'll just talk more about the dual axis chart or some of the custom charts which are which we create in Tableau. So first of all, let me just create a pie chart using regions and sales. Okay, I'll just create a duplicate of it. Region and maybe profit. So I know that this is a pie chart which got created. What I'm going to, first of all, I'll increase the size of it. There we go. Apart from this, you can click on this icon here. You can increase the size. It's up to you how you want to increase. Then you can play with the marks to show where you want to show these levels. You can play around with them. It's a complete pie, but let's say, I mean, as we are, researching on Tableau, or as we go ahead and play with more kind of visualization, this is very common pie chart, right? It's very common in Excel also. You can just drag and drop and create in a minute or in few seconds only. So we, in order to put some creativity in it, what we did, we just created, a kind of dual axis chart for this and converted this into donut. How we can do that? For that, I just need to create one more calculated field. I would say there's nothing. I just need a dual axis chart, so I can put anything here, irrespective of the 1 or 2, whatever number you decide. I just need a field. So I have added one calculated field, and I'll drag the same field again. So it's created 2 axes now. I don't need sum. I can go by count or maybe average, whichever works better for me. There is no use of basically whatever you use here, average or count, but both should be same. Some will not work because you are getting different sizes in there. Let me decrease the size a bit so they are at least visible properly. There we go. So I can see 2 charts, 2 pie charts, but as I mentioned that I want to create a donut. So what I would do, I'll just select the second axis, and as soon as whatever axis you select, you can see that your marks are getting switched. So I would just select this one, and I'll remove everything from here. I just got a gray colored circle. I can go to levels. I don't want to show marks. That has also gone. It's the same shape of circle as we have this pie chart here. Next thing what we can do is, we are getting gray as the default color. I don't want to see the gray color. I can go ahead and select maybe white. It's gone. For the time being, let's say if you're not if you really want to see that, it will not responding. Okay, just give it a minute. I think I clicked multiple times there. There we go. Okay, so I'll just go here again, and what I said that I need some other colors. For the time being, what I would do, it is gray colored, and this is it has the colors of different regions. So what I'm going to do is, I'll just right click on this axis and I'll click on dual axis. As soon as I do that, it will overlap my pie chart. It will cover that because both had the same average one, average of these two same fields. So they have the same size, number one, and the same values, and that is why it has overlapped it. Next thing what I would do, I know that this was my second axis where I've removed everything. Now I would go to colors. Maybe I can make it white. Next thing I can do, I can go to size and I can remove it a bit. So far I've just removed its size, make it a little smaller, and I have make it white. Now the only thing which is left here, you can see that though I had the same values here in an average calculated field, but still the axis, they are looking, I think, a little different. So let me synchronize them first of all. And as soon as you synchronize your axes, you will get a ring type of thing, or you can call it maybe donut, normally what we call it. So you can play with the size of this, and make it a little better. There we go. Further to this, I'll hide my headers, both the headers, and maybe if you want to show this in a center, so we can play with this axis, the way we made changes in the axis thing. So I can start it from maybe 0.4. Yes. Yes, it's my donut chart, which is ready. Any question on this? On the donut chart?
Fadi, what did you click on to get that dual axis? I'm sorry.
Okay, so in order to create a dual axis, what I did, so initially what was happening, you were getting two different axes here, right? Yeah. So as soon as you click on it, any of these axes, you will get this option called dual axis.
Right, I see. Okay.
And you need to just click on it and it will, overlap both of them.
Right.
So once you have created a dual axis, you need to synchronize both the axes, because here you can see it's 1.3, it is 1.2, which would have the same numbers on both sides. So this synchronize axis.
Gotcha. Okay. Because I noticed that it's on the down arrow from the rows that pills. On mine, it's got a dual axis from there as well. I was just wondering if there was more than one place.
Yep. I mean, so right now this is the pie chart which I have shown. Dual axis you will find in all of them, whether it is line chart, bar chart. You will get dual axis everywhere.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I'll move to maybe next one. So we'll just take the same example, the way you mentioned, like bars. So maybe I'm going to take profit ratio, and let's see, I'm taking a date, maybe order date. I'll go to side by side bars. Now, I know that with the comparison of profit, my profit ratio will always have lower values or very less values, because my profit ratio is nothing but a percentage value, I think, which we were trying to show yesterday. And the profit is again the sum of profit. It will show by, though I have taken year here, so that is why it is showing me the profit by year over year. So two matrices of different measurement. One is percentage, one is of maybe dollars. So definitely this combination is not going to work until unless I'm not using the dual axis chart, or maybe I convert my profit ratio thing with a different scale, or maybe of different mark type. So what I would do in this scenario, first of all, I'll, right now I just have a profit ratio here. I'll drag my profit again. What I did, I just removed profit and I'm dragging it again here. And as soon as you will do that, you will find two axes. One is profit ratio and another is profit. Now you can see the difference which I was talking about, that it is nothing but the percentage value, and this is sum in thousands profit. Okay, so far so good. Now, I need to convert this into dual axis chart because I cannot go ahead and show my users, two different axes which I can accommodate into one. So I would prefer creating a dual axis like this, and what I would prefer, maybe either profit or for profit ratio, I'll choose different marks. I can take one as a bar and another I can convert into line. So you would see that profit, this line basically, this is nothing but the profit, got converted into a trend line, whereas for profit I'm still getting these bars. Here you need to make it sure that you are not clicking on synchronize axis. If you would do that, it will destroy the purpose, because both of my measures are of different type. Profit ratio will always be in percentage and profit will be in thousand and dollars. So that is, we have this created a dual axis chart, trying to show it. Maybe you can go ahead and click on this label. It will show you the number. You can format that, but you need to keep in mind that you are not clicking on synchronize axis. Now for further, maybe the cosmetics, what I can do is, for profit I'm showing a line. I can go ahead and drag this profit on maybe size. So you can see, as my line is moving from down to upwards, the width of line is increasing. That gives me a better look. For my profit, I can go ahead and maybe decrease the width of bars. Maybe I can take another color if I need. I'm very bad with the colors, but still, let me just, for profit I need to take, okay? That's here. I can, this is the bar default color. Okay, for profit ratio, I need to change a different color maybe. And for profit, maybe I can take this one if that suits. I mean, it depends up to you what color you want to take. So we can take that. In here, you might wonder that it's showing me a decimal value, which is ultimately a percentage. I can go ahead and maybe format this, and I'll choose percentage. No, it's not doing that. Okay, I have got an axis, but I need to change this data labels in the same format. Okay, let me just do that. I'll hide marks and I'll drag my profit ratio on labels, and then I can format this maybe in a better way. Here we go. Now, if needed, I can hide headers. If you want to show it, you can show it. Sometimes you need to show the axis, but you can skip the header. Maybe you don't want to show the profit, but you want to show the header. Sorry, axis. What I would recommend is go here, right click on axis, remove title. You only have the scale here, but no name. Same thing this. I'll right click, edit axis, remove the title, apply, and here we go. We can decrease this width if it is required, and we can make required modification. I would recommend in this case, I can decrease the size of my labels. I would use 7 or maybe 8. gives me a little bit better look and feel. More to this, you can apply further coloring options. For example, if I drag region on here, no, that's destroyed the purple. I can on the bars only. Bars are my aggregate profit ratio. I can drag only on profit. No, it's not solving the purpose, because now it is showing me negative numbers also. For central it was negative, so it's going into negative direction. You can see negative, it's only -8. Okay, 87.7 as negative, and it's 60% positive. Okay, so it depends, I mean, what value you are trying to show. We can use regions as a color, or we can skip that also. If we want to show only on the profit, we can, drag it. So I'll get, right now I'm getting only one line. As soon as I drag region on the line, I'll get 4 different lines for each region. So now the picture is clear that only the central region is having the negative values, but other 3 regions are doing pretty well. For best, I will change the color because it was same as my bars. So this is another views of dual axis chart. Any question here? It's simple. I mean, if you start drag and drop, and it is just you need to make it sure that for which card or for which measures card you are applying these properties, size, label, path, and all these. Should we move ahead, or any question?
Nope.
All right. Okay. One more chart which basically used a lot, that we call Pareto chart. So how we create that? We are going to see. So in Pareto, simply it's again going to be a dual axis chart. So let me maybe drag state. I want to see that which states are maybe performing very well, how they are doing it. So maybe I'll just drag state here. We have a lot states, and then I'll drag profit or sales, whatever value you want to take. First of all, I'll convert this into bars, and second thing, I'll convert them into horizontal view. So this is a view which got created. What I would do, I'll order them in, sort them in a better order. So now they are in descending order. I'll take the same field which we call sum. I'll take that again here in order to make it dual axis, which is created a dual axis chart. But this time what I'm going to do is for the second axis, or basically for this, I'm going to take not simple sum, I'm going to take cumulative sum or running total. So for that, I will have to use table calculation, which we covered yesterday. So I'll add table calculation, and I'll get this pop-up. Then I would say maybe running total, and I'll just click OK. I mean, there is no OK sign. I can just cancel it, but I know that this is showing me the running total right now. I will have to change this maybe into some other visualization. So what I would do, I'll keep the first axis as bars and second axis as line. And after doing this, I can make it as a dual axis. So now you would say, as soon as I just change it to dual axis, the mark type and the bars got changed. So we need to make them or we need to change them again. You can directly go here, select bars, and in here for this particular line I need to show labels, and you can show the calculated field. So right now it is just showing the total, running total starting from here. You can change the color of this, maybe some other line. Okay, for running total it's blue. If I take, I'll hide all headers. I don't want to show the numbers. Maybe I want to show the percentage. So for that, maybe I can go to, okay, it was already running total. It's some, you just need to play with these values and automatically you get to know that what value you want to show. So percentage of total, I don't think that is what I need. I basically need a running percentage. Okay, so it cannot be basically more than 100% because if I'm trying to show the running percentage, so there are multiple ways. Either we need to find the right combination of calculations here from edit table calculation, or we need to create a calculated field which can give me the running total. So that combination will work, and you can create the Pareto using the dual axis chart. The beauty of this is I can apply multiple, I would say, I can show the same information for multiple measures. What I mean, I can remove this state and I can use my same field which I created for dynamic dimension, my dimension here, and I can take the same parameters. There we go. It needs to be in order. Show header. Right. So what I'm doing is I have just used that dynamic dimension field number one, which is running with the help of this parameters. I have put that calculation of running total here. So I'm trying to show the profit plus running total of profit, number one by product, number one, and number two by region. So these regions are nothing but states, I guess. Yes. So you can switch between, in a Pareto also you can give number of options which a user can use and maybe switch between multiple views. See any significance of this? Because I know that Pareto we use a lot, but are you able to create it once or during the session? Anybody? Any question? What happened, guys? I seem that today energy is low. So, I mean, are you getting what I'm trying to say here, or maybe whatever I'm creating here? Or if there is any, question, doubts, please do ask me. We can, go ahead. Because the next topic which I'm going to cover, maybe after the break, it'll require more attention. That is on the sharing, dashboarding thing. Okay. There is one more chart which we create with help of bars only. So some people say, okay, let me just use a different chart first of all. This is the last custom chart which I am going to create, and after this we will use, we'll take break and we'll start dashboarding thing. We'll create dashboards. So remember yesterday I talked about, putting images in shapes. So what we can do is here, one of the custom chart which we can create, right now I don't have male and female data here, but what I did in one of my project, I added these icons, these images basically. I had two transparent images, and what I did, let me go ahead and create the same. What I would say, for I'll take region because I remember in region or maybe segment in I have less values. Okay. I'll take only two values, home office and corporate. I'll drag it on segment. Okay, I'm getting only one value. Let me take two values. Okay. And what I would do, I'll take my shapes. Okay, just I don't have male and female data here. That is why I'm just taking two segments, consumer and corporate. So you can take, let's see, consumer as female and corporate as male. I've just assigned those images here. I can increase the size a bit. So you can see they look like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'll drag profit in here. I'm doing the same thing with the way we did in toner chart. I'm taking my same calculated field and trying to create a dual axis chart. Okay, I'll take the same segment . Okay, that's it. For this axis, maybe I can remove segments and I'll convert this into bars. And I'll take on this maybe the profit, which okay. I'm basically trying to show that in case of males and females, how we can show an empty, this icon, which has, the maximum value. For that, background will be, filled, and for whom there is less value, so you can see the empty area there. Like this, you can see it's not very accurate right now, but this edging should not be here. I need to just play with the numbers, and then you can show that for example, this icon here, it has less numbers, so that's why it is showing me empty. background. And here it has the value, that's why it is showing me the full. So this is one of the the custom visualization which we implemented in some of the dashboards, in one of the dashboards. So it is all about your creativity, how you want to use Tableau in such cases, because for by default you have these show me and some of the calculated fields and all which you can utilize, but in normally which you see you need to play with the creativity. I would like to show one more dashboard which I have grabbed the link. So let me just open my activity. So I have this URL here which I have got from a Tableau public, the library area which I mentioned in the very first session. So this is a dashboard which has been created by somebody and they have posted in Tableau online. So you can see this dashboard basically talks about all the US elections starting from 1920 to 2016. And the best portion, the part of it, that it talks about the top 2 contenders who are in the election, and some analysis by state. So in hex view you can see these states, but it's a US map only. You can change it and see as per your wish. Some other analysis at how they shifted from the shift happened in different states. These icons are working as a filters. So right now it is 2016. If I click on 2012, I'm going to see 2012 details. See, you can select any particular icon here or the circle. It will show you the details for that particular year. For example, 1964. It will talk about those details. So I would say it's a masterpiece if you can just create something like this. The best thing is the data. If they have the data, they can you can go ahead and try to create it. So having said that, I would say that we can plan for a break right now for next 20 minutes. Right now it is about to 10:20 here in India. We'll get back by 10:40, and then we'll try to club all these sheets which we have created into dashboard, and then we will see that how we can play with the actions and use these sheets in dashboard and share with other people, right? Are we good?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
All right then. So see you after 20 minutes.
Okay.
Recording started.
I think we are good with the map, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what I would do, I'll just go ahead and create some dashboards. So let's say we'll just add, I have just clicked on this icon with the 4 quadrants, the dashboard. And by default, the white area which you can see, that is the area which is basically is shown when a dashboard is deployed and user can see that. Maximum thing are related to the layout, whatever we set up here. By default, you can see the width and height of the page, so you can play with these and you can increase the width and height of a page. How we add these things, different objects into this dashboard, you just select a sheet and add that in your dashboard. So for example, let's take this summary tab. I just right click on it, or you can just say add to dashboard, or you can drag it into this. So for example, if I drag it here, it's already there. I can take map also. So right now they are auto adjusting. I can take maybe, let's say, Pareto. So that is here. I have just dragged and they are randomly I have put them into one dashboard. Right now it doesn't look that good. The reason being, we need to play with all these objects, and maybe we need to arrange them in an order so that they the look and feel and maybe the layout looks good. So what I normally do, first of all, I set up the page. I take 1300 width, and it depends at what height you want to take for the page. Normally 800 or 900 both works for me, but for the page width I take 1300, because as soon as you go into presentation mode or you deploy this on the server, that fits my laptop width, 1300 pixels. So I choose that only, but height can vary depending on the objects in my page. With that, still all of my objects are not floating, and that is the reason they are they expand automatically. So what I take, I normally don't take them in tiled form, I take them in floating format. And as we take them in floating format, we can select a particular object and we can put it anywhere on the page. What I just did, I have converted everything, whatever I had in the page, I'm just converting them into one by one into floating type. Okay, once everything is in floating type, you can drag and drop wherever you want, and you can adjust in your page. Maybe some of the things which you may not need, you can remove them also. So I just removed the legend, which I believe it was not useful. In Pi, you can still play around and you can remove these headers if it is not required. More on that, right now the width is different. You can adjust that, or you can click on this drop down and you can go to this fit option and you can say maybe standard, or okay, standard is having more width. So entire view is not solving my purpose. I can say fit height. No. It's not solving my purpose. I will have to increase a bit. Here we go. Same thing with the map. I'll increase the size. And what I want, I'll keep my map at maybe number 1 at top, and number 2, I can keep it far Right. So I don't need this legend. What I can do is I can just remove from dashboard. Same with this. These are the different regions. So you can, if you put your mouse on the colors, you find out that in tooltip it is mentioned there is, this is east, west, sorry, central, west. So I can remove this also. This parameter I need. This parameter also I need. And this is the table which I would like to take in this area. This I can get rid of. Here we go. Okay. So as I already said that I'll be taking my map on the right side. I've just put it here. And I would say, okay, the fit option. Then I would like to show my maybe pie chart. And for table, I'll take below this map. And this Pareto, I believe we need more space for this. Just give me a moment. Okay. You can see the height and width of these objects from layout. Now this object I have selected, I know that it starts from 20 on x-axis. Y is, the distance from the top, that is 115. I can take the same thing for this object. I can take it 15, so they will be on same height. Not height, I would say, from the top of the page. Width is different for both the objects. I can go ahead and take some increase the width for this page. Here we go. And then I can increase the height of this page like this. And then for same thing I would do for this pivot. I can increase in here. Maybe I don't need title, I can hide title. So it's like this. Even I can hide my column title that I have done. Same thing for this. Okay. So if we need the header, I would like to format it a bit. So maybe fit width, number 1. Number 2, for title, what I would do, format title. I'll go ahead and maybe color it blue shading. Okay. For title, it's here. And for font, what I would do, I'll just make it maybe 9, center line, and the color should be white so that it looks to the viewers. I can then, maybe I don't need this header, I can get rid of it. Same thing with the header on this profit. Okay, first of all, here I have a border, I don't need it. Same thing with this. Edit title, I would say 9 the way I did for others. And while creating all these things, make it sure that you are making keeping a consistency in mind. For maybe the font size, take the same font for all the objects. And when it comes to colors, again, you can follow only the colors which are, required or used for, the organization, presentation, and the branding information what we have. So in here, I don't need maybe the title. I want to switch. Okay. So now you can see that this product and region parameter is only for this Pareto. But why would I keep it at the top? I can drag that on Pareto itself so that users who are looking at this maybe can use this Pareto in here. In Pareto, you might have mentioned that everything is looking so cluttered right now. What I would do then, I would say fit height, and maybe I can get the scroll bar in the bottom so that my width can be will expand automatically. And in here, I can anytime play with these parameters. I'll try to minimize what the area what they are taking so that my view won't get disturbed because of this. So that type of maybe the formatting I'll do it for this. For map, I think we are good. But the sort order is for, again, okay, the sort order is only for this table here. So again, there is no point keeping this at the top, and same goes for this table. I mean, these both parameters are working for this table only, the table down here. So there is no point putting everything at the top. Had it been related to other objects also, I could have kept it at the top. But now as we have just noticed that it is only for this table, so I would show them only here. So let's say I'll drag it here, I'll hide the title so that I can accommodate my parameters. Control, same for this, I'll take it here. If you want to format it, color these parameters, you can do that, or otherwise just keep it as it is. Okay, so we are here right now. It's here, year over year summary I'm trying to show. And okay, so this shows that if I increase the size of my page, I think that will help me a little, or I can go ahead and utilize this space a little. Okay, finally the scroll bar. Okay, I'm still getting this scroll bar here, which if I want to get rid of, so now there is only one thing that I will have to increase the height of this page. I will make it a little smaller, and I believe, I mean, as I'm looking at some of these controls, what I would do, I'll just add header here, do the same kind of formatting, no border, and shading will be off like this, and the title I'll take again white. There we go, donut, and I'll take it from the same height. So you can see that for profit map or map profit, whatever the name of sheet is, I can change it anytime. It's starting from 72. So for this also I'll take it so that it will start from 72, the same height. They are at the same level. I can go ahead, maybe minimize it a bit so that I can drag any of other object if I can. For example, donut is there. I can take this dual bars if it is required. Let me add it into the dashboard. Here we go. And this let's just check whether it is required or not. I can go ahead and increase the size of it. Okay. One more thing to notice, what I would do for this, let's say the legend is there. I can, maybe align them in a single row if it is really required. All of my regions will come like this. Here we go. I'll hide the title. Now I know what color represents which region. I can place it somewhere wherever I'll get the space, but let me just format it. White color, central align, apply. I'll go for further format. No border. There we go. I'll remove this header. And what is this? I don't need it. I can get rid of it. And I'll again, align this chart at the same level of 72, I guess. There we go. Now what I would keep in mind that I can give the same height to all of my these three objects. So the height of this map profit is 366. Maybe I can keep it identical. And in here I can remove headers, can increase the size of donut a bit. Okay, so again, if you look at it, these bars, they show the years 2015, 13, 20, 14 and 12. So if you need, you can show this, or if you don't need it, you can hide it, whichever makes your view and users happy. Then I'll go back to this again. Now, if it is consuming a lot of space, you can choose maybe the slider or the compact list, what I was getting earlier. So it's up to you. It's maximum how can you utilize the space. Compact list like this. Align them at the same level. For example, for this year over year, it is starting from 483. You can see this height. Height is with the vertical position basically. I'll do the same thing for this level, and I'll increase the height of this control, this table. Okay, here we go. We got a better position. Same thing for Pareto. Now I'm thinking not to put this control here. I can switch it to the same position as I have done for other parameters. Maybe like this. And if it is required, I can show the header. For parameters, I'm getting border, which I really don't want to show. I can go ahead and border none. Okay. Left align, it should be center. Okay, that's fine. So this is the view which I am getting right now. Let me put my legend here once again in the bottom of this page. So it's very close to where it should be. Now, define a header for my dashboard. So you can click on the show dashboard title and you can edit it accordingly. So you can say summary of super stores. format it accordingly, wherever you need kind of formatting. If you want to give it a borders, that also you can give. So it's in floating now. I just converted that in floating. I can increase the size a bit, let's say 15 or maybe 18, but not bold. And for the complete dashboard, maybe I want a border for my dashboard. So when I say border means maybe an outlining. So I'll work with the height of this. Maybe I'll keep it 25. Yes. It's 20. Starting from 476. I can make the same changes 476 and 420. In order to put border here, what I would do, I'll just drag one text box. It's again in floating. I can just change the color or maybe format this. I'll give it a color and will adjust it according to my page. Maybe the border little if you want to keep it here, you can do that. Or if you want to increase it to go above your header, you can do that. Further to that, you can put the colors in your, okay. Now, as everything is in floating, now what is happening, my new text box which I have just put for my border, it is overlapping all the objects. I cannot make any changes, I cannot click anywhere. So what I need to do is, I'll just go here, right click, and I'll change the floating order. I'll send this text box to back. As soon as I do that, I can select my other objects now. So you need to make it sure that what order or maybe where that floating object is lying. Now, if it is required, I can put some color here. If it is not required, that's fine. But I still believe that I need one more, maybe text box. And I want to give it as, it's up to you, I mean, what kind of formatting you are looking for in your dashboard. Layout, position, let's say I'll move it a bit. And I'll increase the width. Okay, here we go. It's a little bold. Okay, now a piece of dashboard I would say is ready. All the objects will work accordingly as they were supposed to. Region, product. Now, one thing let me add, right now whatever you see in this dashboard is working as an individual control. But let's say a requirement might come that I want data by state only, right? I don't want to see everything in one glimpse. Let's say Texas is not performing well. I want to see all these details, whether it is in donor, dual bars, Pareto, or this summary table here. I just want to see only for Texas why it is not performing, or if it whatever is happening, I want to see that. If let's say that such requirement comes, Either I should give another filter here for users so that they can select a particular state, or Tableau gives you functionality to use this sheet as a filter. You can see this option, use as a filter. You will find this option on all the sheets, use as a filter, or maybe here, use as a filter. So what you can do is, I'll just make one of the sheets, this map one, to use as a filter. And what would happen after that? As soon as I go ahead and select a particular state, for example, Texas, I'll select this, all other objects, whether it was donut, it is dual bar, my Pareto, my table, everything got, filtered for that particular thing, for that particular state. In here you can see I'm just getting negative figures, which is profit. That is suggesting that something is not right, because, okay, right now it is in negative, that is why I'm not getting anything here. If it is positive, I'm pretty sure that I'll get, okay, that's it. It means that is working fine, but pi, there was negative value, so that's why it was showing only number. But you are filtering based on any particular state which you want to see for. The other way around, if I make donut also as a filter, and now what would happen here? In donut I'm just showing these regions, right? So as soon as I select a particular region, for example East, so all the information coming whether from map, from dual bars, in Pareto or in this table will be filtered only for this particular region. East, I can see the detail for Central, for West, or maybe for South. And the beauty of these options, which I have just clicked using these sheets as a filter, automatically gets created into this action of dashboard. If you go here and click on action, you will see there are two filters got generated. If you want to see the detail, click edit, and you will find the details that in dashboard 1, from map profit, that was my map here. If I select anything in map, the select option is enabled. It will filter everything in other sheets, which is show all values. That's the filter 1. If let's say if you go to second filter, now it is donut, and the same thing. Similarly, it was by default created. Let's say if you want to create anything, just click on add action. It gives you 3 options: filter, highlight, or URL. So filter will work same as these two were working. I mean, as soon as you click on filters, you'll get the same window. Now it's up to you that which sheet you want to be the source and other as a target. You can select, or menu will give you menu and then you will select, then it will filter. Hover will, as soon as you will put your mouse, it will automatically filter it out. There is no need to click. So let's say if I select hover from summary, and then I'll make other sheets as a target. Let's say it is for all values. Let's say if you want to filter based on only one value in a particular value, then you can define your own fields here, coming from the one data source, or if there are multiple data sources, you can make the relation between them. I'll click OK, and the filter 1 got created. It is not generated, it is created by me, and it is hover action. So I'll just click OK, and I created for this summary tab, right? So let's see how it works. I'll just go ahead and put my mouse on any number. I'm not, clicking on mouse, I'm just putting mouse on any particular number. It's automatically filtering all other objects. It's up to you how you want to create these, actions. Now, I would say that the first dashboard is got created. Now, let me just deploy this. Okay, one more thing before I deploy it. There are 5 objects which I have used here in this dashboard. Okay, it's not responding. Just give it a minute. So by the time it is, loading or whatever it is doing, in order to deploy anything on Tableau server, you need to have publisher right. Then only you can publish to any server. And in order to publish anything here in USG, as I mentioned in the first session, that we have number 1 production server, number 2 dev servers, and similarly we have a test server. But normally when we contact the Tableau admin team, they suggest to go for only these 2, because in one environment we will be doing development, and once everything is done, you will be moving to the production environment. So I'll just show it in one of them. I'll just go to one of the server here. As soon as you log in into one of the servers, okay, I wanted to show it from the beginning, not to load this. Okay, here we go. So whenever you log in first time in your server, so it will show something like this. It will ask you to select a site. So these sites are, I would say, different folders which have been created on Tableau servers. So I would say these are the team names which I have access to. So default will be, the very first time when I got the access, this is the recent one which, I am as an admin of this folder. And this is the another folder or the project which I have got access, wherein I can just publish. So I'll just show you some a little difference here. If I go to this personal health management folder, I am getting these options: content, user, group, schedule, task, and all. So because I'm the admin of this folder, and I can see who are the users having access to this particular folder, what are the global groups which are mapped to this particular folder. So in order to get access to this, you need to be part of either of these, either the publisher group or the viewer group. And depending on the group which you are part of, you can publish or you can just view. Schedules are basically when you have set up some schedule for data refresh. So I'll talk more about it once I'll deploy the file. Task is another tab wherein you can set up subscription for different workbooks. So subscription works similarly as in SSRS report. You can set up subscription and you can start getting that report in your inbox at a particular time. You can set up subscription for Tableau reports also. And status is a tab wherein you can see the traffic or maybe some of the information depending on, on the utilization, that how your reports are being utilized. How many times a user went ahead and see that report, what is the frequency, do we have any report which has a maximum users or most of the users go to that particular report? Or is there any user or maybe a report which is not at all used? Nobody is looking at that report. So that type of reports you can see, and these are pre-built provided by Tableau admin team. So you can assign different type of roles, but you will get these options only if you are admin of this particular project. If not, then let me show you another project which I'm not admin and I cannot show those see those tabs. I'm just a user of this this project. I can maybe just deploy a report and I can see that report. That's it. So these are the different folders created into this particular default view which I have, and maybe PI reporting being the one of the project which I'm part of. To see what all reports are there which are deployed, these are the workbooks, and go back to workbook. Maybe let me just see any report which I have deployed. Product, project, PI reporting. Let me showcase one of the report. So this is I have deployed on 1st June only. Sorry, the extract refresh on 1st June. It was deployed I think last week. So let me go ahead and click on this. Okay, I don't know what is happening here. Okay, so this was the dashboard basically which I deployed, and here we go. Whatever you deploy, you can create extracts and you can check who all can view it by going to permissions. So if you click on the permissions, and you can set up this while deploying a workbook. So these are the different groups which are part of this particular project, and these are the different roles what we assign to different groups or maybe an individual user. So these we can do this while deploying a workbook, but I'm not sure what is happening here with the workbook. It's not responding. If I'll close, everything will close, and I think I have not saved much. So in order to show that how we deploy, let me just download another workbook which I can deploy it for you. Okay, that workbook got closed. I'll go to recent. I'm not sure till what time I saved it. I'm just trying to open that same workbook from history. I'm sure I have not saved it today, so it will have all those sheets which were there yesterday. Today what we have created, unfortunately, I think we would lost. Yeah, here we go, the same thing. This is all what we created yesterday. Okay, that's fine. Let me just try to show you how to deploy. Right, so this is the workbook which I have just downloaded, this dashboard. What I wanted to show at that time, let's say there are 10 sheets which you are using in one one dashboard. You can hide all of them by going to the hide all sheets option. So right now you can say these are the individual tabs which I have used in this dashboard. I can hide all of them. Now you don't see individual sheets. Okay, so we covered that the filtering part by going to the dashboard and action, all these things. Similar way, the way we created. So these were the options, the way we did it over there. Now, once you are trying to deploy it, you need to go to this option called service. And then you need to sign in what server you want to deploy. So let me just deploy it in one of the development server. I'll just change the URL. It is tableau-dev.uhc.com. I'll say connect. There is no, the way we do in other development projects that we need to, plan for release and then move the release to the different stages and environment, different folks and rights are required. It is just Tableau. You have 3 roles: publishers, interactors, readers, and publishers. So all the projects wherein you have publisher right, you can deploy. So I'm just trying to log in with my credential, Windows credential. I'll sign in, and then you will find the same list again to all the projects wherein you have publisher rights. So maybe I can, this is a development environment. I will go to, let's say, default, and then it will give me another pop-up, another window. Okay, so far I only sign in. Let me now go to this publish. You can see that I'm signed in here onto this particular service. It gives me option to sign out as well. Now I would click on this publish workbook option, or if you, let's say if you are signed in on a particular server, you want to open any file from that server, you can click on this option. So if anything is already deployed on server and you have rights, you can open a file directly from the server. I'm going ahead and publish workbook. It talks about the project name, the name of file. If you have data extract, you can select any particular extract. Though this is a dev environment, you don't have much options. I'll show you that all the options which are there in a production environment also. And then which sheets you want to deploy. So right now there is only one sheet because I have hide all the sheets, so I can see only one thing here. Then this is the permission, basically all those groups. If you want to add, you can click on add, and here you go. These are the different rights which you get for each user. So if you want to give users only viewer rights, these are the permissions. They can view, they can download image, PDF form, download summary data, they can put comments, view comments, and let's say if you keep changing this, right now it is custom, but if you keep adding, as soon as I have added these many permissions, role has automatically changed into interactors. Interactor is one who can change something in workbook on server itself. They cannot publish a workbook from the scratch, but they can make minor modification and they can share their changes with the other users. So this web edit is nothing but changing anything on the Tableau server itself. But as we go further, now you would say it became editor. Editor is nothing but same as publisher, a person who's having rights to publish a workbook to a particular server. So we can search for a group or an individual name. For example, if I search myself, I've got my name, and I can select my name here and I can assign all these permissions to myself. And depending on the permission which I assign here, once this file is deployed on server, I will be able to see that. So I'll just remove it right now and I'll cancel. I'll just go ahead with this group only, what I already have, and I'll publish. It is getting published to server, which is the dev server. Okay, once the file and the data has been moved to the server, you will automatically get another pop-up and Internet Explorer will open and it will show you the same workbook which I have just deployed. So it's loading. It says my particular workbook has been posted to the server, and that is here. I'll right click on it. And I can see the same thing. Now, there was a question, I think Caroline or somebody asked that, what about PII information and how can we make it public? So right now, if I go to this workbook which I have just deployed and I go to permissions, this permission or here I go, one on the same thing. This workbook can be seen by only these groups who are added here. Right now, if I share this URL with the person who is not part of any of these groups, will not be able to see this workbook. The person who is either interactor, maybe part of this custom group, maybe again interactor role, only they can see and interact onto this particular project, right? Let's say in case I want to make it public so that people who are either part of this group or irrespective of that, but still they can see this report, I will have to add one more group here, which is we call as guest. Okay, let me see. No, this is not that guest which I wanted to add. I need to click on users and then guest. I've just added guest, and it's up to me that which right I want to assign him, editor, interactor, viewer. I'll say viewers. As soon as you will select viewer, you can see this, all these tick marks have been selected, not for these things which are required to be an interactor. These are things which are required to be an editor of this file. So I would say just click, I would click save. Now you would say that user has been added here, guest user has been added, and now I can go ahead to this particular sheet and maybe I can share the URL with. Okay, let me just search the same workbook. This is what I have just deployed. You can see the exact as per June it is showing. When it was deployed, if you want to see that, Okay. Details. Okay. It shows you the details, or maybe you can see the revision history also, that when things happen. So this is the first time only I have this deployed. So there is no other history. I would say, I would go ahead and deploy this workbook. Sorry, it is already deployed. How we can share it with other people? If a person is group of those global groups which were mapped here, they can directly use this URL, which is at the top, this one. If I go ahead and paste it into another tab of Internet Explorer, I can see that. Okay, getting slower. Okay, I'll just copy pasted it here. It opens in the same way. And if I need to share this file with the users who were not part of those global groups, and I have added them in form of guest. So with guest, if you want to share this URL will not work for the guest users. Guest users can see this report using this share option and this URL. And if I open this in another tab, you will see it's little different. Now you would not find anything which was you were getting from the Tableau environment. I mean, this Tableau icon or different other options which you were getting, you won't find that in this URL. And this is the URL you can share with the end users. So I believe if I share this URL with you in the chat window, I think you can access it. Please try. Just try this using this URL. Are you able to see this report or not?
Yeah.
So you can see this report, right?
Yeah, I can see.
So this is simply that I made it public. That is why you are able to see it. Now the question comes from Tableau admin team, or I would say the IRM team. If any of your report is having PHI information or PII information, they would not recommend to make it public. Or if you make it public and they find out in future, they will revoke the access or the guest access from that particular workbook. So this is the guideline provided by them. So we need to make it sure that if we are making any workbook as a public, it should not have PHI or PII information. In that case, we'll only go for the permissions which we are getting, for either that user should be part of global groups, or he should be either interactor, viewer, or publisher. Okay.
Can I ask you one question, Sati?
Yes, please go ahead.
So in a situation like us, we have multiple segments, and each segment uses a report, views the report that belongs to them.
Mm-hmm.
So you said if we don't make it public, obviously we can't make it because we do have sensitive information in our reports. How do we assign separate global groups for each of the reports? Or if you want, we can take it offline also, no problem. No?
Mm-hmm.
Because
so I think that's a common question which I get in some of the sessions. So if you have if you already have different global groups created, so definitely you can assign them. Or what we can do is we can create multiple tabs which in a report for specific users, and that's one thing. And another thing, we can, you remember when we were working with the calculated fields in Tableau, we have some of the variables related to username or maybe, okay, where is that? Users. There we go. User domain or username, or is member part of a, okay, we cannot define any global group here. However, let's say there are, a couple of folks, maybe they fall into one category, so we can define those names here, and we can restrict the view on the data level. So if, let's say, if I'm looking at that report, that data will not appear to me. I'll just get a blank report if my name is there in this condition. So this is, the security which I'm applying on the data level. But if you want to apply security on a workbook level, for that you will have to follow this route only. Just come here, and in the permission section you need to add those groups which with the different rights. That is only what you can do, or either create a different reports.
Right. Okay. Right. Maybe once we get to that stage, we may need your help.
Yeah, sure. All right. So let me. Unfortunately, we lost our workbook, but I will. I have just 15 minutes. So what I would try to do, I'll just drag some of the charts which we created yesterday. Because this is the workbook which we have been going through our training session. I really want to make use of this. Not city, I'll take state. And if you have any other question, anybody, please ask meanwhile, while I'm trying to make a use of this sheet. Okay, I go to dashboard. I'll increase the width 13, drag my map. I'll make it maybe floating. I don't need another legend. Okay, I'll again go to that same layout positioning, and I know that for my maps it is X is 25, Y is 25. Maybe I can make it 100 so that I can accommodate my headers above. Let me take it 70. Same thing, I'll take it for this. Make the same height. Another object, maybe 8. area chart which we created with you using set. I can make it floating again, and here we go. Some other chart, for example, profit and sales, it was there. Cross tab, I can take this one. Images in scatter plot, shapes. Okay, let me take this also. This, okay, this viz you can just use here, but it looks better when it is used individually for the presentations. Maybe I can hide title, but I need to take that control here with it because that is applicable only on this. I can hide this header, will get better space for it. And I can go ahead and maybe take, okay, we created this for one of our table. Maybe I'll change it so that I can see only the compact list. I'll make it a little big and I can keep it here only because this is applicable to this. I know that it starts from layout 70. I'll do the same thing for this so that they are at the same height. Okay. I'll drag the similar kind of border which I did it earlier. There we go. I'll make it maybe floating first of all. Format it, give it a border of maybe this color. Second thing which I need to make, that I need to make it floating back so that it will not overlap some of my objects. And I can add headers to my, headers to my dashboard. This table is going out of the view. Let me plan something for it. Maybe I can decrease its size. This also. And then what I can do is I can try to decrease its width. Maybe here we go. So okay, little bit, and then I can say fit to width. Right now I can say that, but as soon as if I change my view, it might get cluttered again. So I can leave it, or it's up to me how we want to set up this. This is the hierarchy. I can change or expand it depending my requirement. I'll go ahead and make the same kind of filter here. I'll make this sheet as a filter, maybe this also, so that I can see my phone. And this is the same filter which I was talking about, filter getting created from action. I'll add one more filter, and this time I'll take this sheet, which is nothing but parameter 1, select all. I'll leave it as it is, because whatever selection I'll make on parameter 1, they will affect other sheets. It's got created. I'll click OK. And yes, just one thing, let me add header to my dashboard, and I think we are good then. So I'll make it first of all floating so that I can further play with it. Maybe width of this page 100. No, that's quite less. Summary Superstore. Same thing, I can make it maybe bold. I'll increase my borders a bit upper side. I can see these things are created. For filter purpose, let me first of all deploy this so that I can show you. Yep, so it's similarly, I mean, the way we set it up, it's working. Now, when I was putting this control here, that action chart, I mentioned that this will look good individually. Okay. The beauty of this filter is like whatever state I will select, now this chart will talk about only that state. This trend is only for particular California. So this is how we have integrated my map and my action chart, or maybe other objects. So that is the plus point, you know, using that sheet filters. So this trend was only for California. If I go to Texas, you can see it's quite different. Though you can, you know, run it from the beginning, and user can see that how it went. So having said that, let me deploy this workbook. I'll follow the same route, publish workbook. This is the Tableau server which I have Okay, this time I need to show some, options related to schedule also. So I'll just cancel this. I'll go ahead, sign out from the development environment. I'll sign in into maybe production environment. Save my Windows credentials. Projects wherein I have access to. Let's select PHM. It's signing in. Default. The project name is day one, but until unless I will not add that public here and I'll add guest in it, it will not be accessible to everyone. So let me give us maybe meaningful name. Super tours underscore summary underscore maybe public. These are the different schedules which are available. I mean, when I was connected to dev environment, I was not getting these many. Now I know that I can refresh my data at particular timings, whichever suits your requirement. Then all the sheets you want to deploy, or only that sheet or the dashboard. So I would say none first of all, and I'll select only dashboard. Permissions, this is the same area. I can add people here, or I can, this will be visible to only those users who are part of these groups. 3 different roles: viewer, interactor, editor, what I showed you earlier. And then I can maybe go ahead and publish it. I would not publish on the production, but in order to just show these options, I did it. I'll go back and sign out from here, because I don't want to mess around with the production environment. Can play with the dev environment, and I'll do that. Share the same URL with everybody. Okay, I'll name it same superstore underscore public. Only dashboard. Regarding permissions, let me add. Okay, all user is same as guest. And I'll publish it. Once it is deployed, the same pop-up window opened. I can go to dashboard 1. And here we go. I'll just put this URL here on the new tab. Here it goes my dashboard. Those parameters will work as it is. I can select a particular state. Other objects will filter for that. I can play my action with. Okay, it seems that for this particular state might not have much data. Okay, it's playing one by one only as I'm clicking here. Let me refresh. Okay, I'm just opening the same dashboard in Firefox because some of the controls doesn't work in. Okay, I can't see that control here also. That play button is not there, and because of that, it needs to be clicked every time. That is just the control. I think some component, either flash or something, is missing. Because of that, I'm not getting that flat, play button. I can change it one by one. So I'm just sharing this URL with everybody, and please try whether you are getting that play button or not. I'm sure this is a problem only some control on the system. Try to see whether you are able to access this or not.
I'm able to access it.
Okay, great. So what I would do, I mean, unfortunately we, lost the workbook which I was, working with today with everybody. What I would do with the same concept, what we created, maybe dynamic hierarchies or that date and parameter combination. So the similar kind of workbook is already there in this server if you go to that SharePoint, because we followed the same kind of route for other batches. So let's say if you need to refer with that, I will copy this day one file also. It is already there in the batch 2.
Where's that SharePoint? Did you send out a link to that SharePoint? Did I miss that somewhere along the way?
Okay. I'll share that.
It was in the window.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I need to try.
Chat window.
Okay, it's in the chat window.
I have not shared that today. Let me just share it once again. I shared it in the first session, but here we go. I've just put it on the chat window. And for this, let me save it. So specifically this dashboard. I'll just put it in the same folder. So the workbook which I have just deployed, it's there in the SharePoint also. You can download it, maybe play with it. And related to the dynamic hierarchies and all, you can just refer it to the, just go to this Tableau stuff folder, batch 1 and day 3 workbook. If you open this, you will find the same dynamic hierarchies, date and parameter filter, you will find the same thing. So most of the exercise which we have covered in this day 2 and 3 workbook, and the topics which we lost because of not responding in Tableau, everything you will find in it. Apart from this, I have placed this maybe the PDF document. It has all the pointers which we have been discussing during this training, so you can follow this also. This is a sample superstore data which I have been using. And in workbook, basically, I have given some type of basic chart types, or maybe the custom charts which we utilize, so you can refer to them, so that maybe you can take a help.
Did you see where the videos are at yet, or he just hadn't put them up yet?
So for videos, I'm not able to put them on SharePoint. What I would do, I mean, was your question related to the recording?
Yes. Where will the access to the videos be?
Okay. So this gives you access to access.
Hold on, I'm trying to get back to your screen. Too many screens floating around here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'm on the SharePoint and the folder which is workbooks.
Okay.
And inside the basic view types, this is the Tableau workbook. If you download it and open it into your Tableau desktop, it has a couple of basic type of dashboards, charts, maybe the dual axis charts, Pareto, donut, what we discussed today. All you will find in this workbook. This workbook is again kind of roadmap for the people who are starting to use Tableau. So again, yes, it will give you the link to the tableau.com website, and for each link you can go ahead and open a video and see how to start and which different scenarios, so that you can directly find from Tableau knowledge base website, or you can access them from this workbook also.
What about the videos you just recorded?
Okay, for that I'll be sharing, because the video which is being recorded today, the link of it will be available by tomorrow. So
okay.
What I would do, I'll just draft an email to everyone. I'll send an email to everyone with the 3 links recorded each day.
That is perfect.
Yeah, so I'll be sending that by tomorrow. I mean, by this time that mail will be in your inbox. I think these were the main topics which I have covered that will definitely give you get started with the Tableau. But still, I would say that anytime if you feel that there is some roadblock, or maybe you are not you got stuck, you can ping me or drop me an email. So depending on my availability, I can maybe on a WebEx I can take you through, or maybe I'll help you out. So having said that, is there any question, anybody, any doubt so far what we covered today in day 1, day 2? We good, right? Everybody is good, got everything.
Yep.
Yes.
Until we start using the tool.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. But thanks for everything. I think this was a great session. Yeah, but we need to practice on our side, I think.
Exactly.
That's really the key thing. Yeah. But yeah, I think you were super helpful, and you explained very nicely. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much, Dinesh. So yeah, as I mentioned, if you still in need or any kind of guidance, you can just ping me or drop me an email, and we'll talk further on it. Right? So that's all for today. Thank you so much for being part of this session. And any feedback around how we went through, I think that will be appreciated.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.